Hello, welcome to Big Red Journeys. I'm your host, Big Red, and on today's show, we're going to be checking out the Belle Terrace here at Disneyland. Do a little bit of a food review while we get some lunch. We're going to be two different things here. Trevor is joining me, and he's going to be getting the Fantasmic lunch package. I'm going to get a normal lunch. We're going to do a little compare and contrast, a little review. I think the menu has changed recently since the last time I've been here, so we'll see what's new, what's different. But anyways, I figured let's do a review for the channel and have a great time. So let's go. Of course, you do also have some outdoor seating. You know, it's kind of luck of the draw whether you want inside or outside. For the most part, if it's a nice, beautiful day, you know, out here in the sun, there is shade in the canopies and the tents on there. If there's a nice breeze, I actually like being out on the outside. But if it's a hot day and it's just like stagnant, I'd rather be on the inside where there's air conditioning. But sometimes it's nice to just sit on the edge table right over there and enjoy the ambiance and the noise of Disneyland. So here we go. We are walking on into our restaurant. You can see some of the beautiful paintings, like of different steamers. It's supposed to look like, you know, like a paddle boat river. I don't know, like something from like the turn of the century, you know, down the Mississippi type of thing. You can take a look here of the restaurant as we pan by. Known for its decor, like kind of like a little bit of a southern plantation vibe to it. You know, this originally was the old Aunt Jemima house as well too, restaurant, which was a long time ago. But it kept that little southern charm, something you might see like a Gone with the Wind or something like that. Pastel blues and pinks, chandeliers hanging from there. Even the tables with the little wrought iron looks to them. It's very nice, like a dainty southern peach. So here we have the menu. This is going to be the normal menu for the Belle Terrace. Right now we have entrees of like a farmhouse salad, chicken pot pie soup, pork chop, fried chicken plate, blackened fish, the impossible meatloaf, and the shrimp lemon caper pasta. Prices are ranging from $18 to $26. Actually, $32 for the pork chop. And then some desserts as well too, a chocolate brownie and a key lime tart. For $10 and $12 respectively. And something that's newer that's only happened in recent times, there is alcohol for purchase and consuming here at the Belle Terrace. You can do wine by the glass. They got some cocktails here. They got beers. They got non-alcoholic beverages. And you can see the prices, like cocktails are $19.75, $15. Beers are $12 and $15 respectively. Non-alcoholic beverages. So yeah, that might be worth it for you. Again, but if you do get a beverage here that's adult, you have to drink it while you're in the restaurant. You can't take it with you off of the restaurant property. And this right here is the Fantasmic menu package. This one is for $64. It does include the reserved seating for Fantasmic, that for either the earlier performance or later performance. You can know which one when you sign up for it. $64 includes your choice of an entree, a starter, and a dessert, and non-alcoholic beverage. So the starters are the farmhouse salad or the cup of chicken pot pie soup. Your entrees, fried chicken plate, impossible meatloaf, the blackened fish, pork chop, and shrimp lemon caper pasta, same as the regular menu. But desserts, they have the chocolate brownie, the key lime tart, ooh, and a classic red velvet cake with caramel sauce. That's the difference really with the two menus beyond just the reservation for Fantasmic. This is the unfortunate part that I'm going to be real with you. So Trevor invited me for lunch here because he's going to do the Fantasmic package. He's going to go see Fantasmic later. I'm not going to stick around that late to do it. But I figured, you know what? I'll come and enjoy a nice lunch here at Belle Terrace because this has always been one of my favorite restaurants to go try for the barbecue. Apparently, they changed their menu a couple weeks ago, as you can clearly see from what I just showed you. I'm not very happy about that, to be very honest with you. I've always loved the tri-tip, the catfish, the things of that nature here. And the tri-tip's grilled cheese sandwich is absolutely amazing. So I'm not very happy with the menu change, and I did just wanted to announce that. I'm still going to do a review. I'm probably going to get the fish, just to at least do something here for the menu. But yeah, until they bring back the menu to the way it used to be, I'm a little miffed, you know? But anyways, we're still going to show you my food and Trevor's food to show you what, you know, the difference is. We're going to order two different things for the entrees, so you get to see what he has. I'll try a little bit of what he has, and vice versa. So anyways, let's try to make the best of it. Well, here is the first thing that Trevor got with his Fantasmic package. Looks like a cup of the chicken pot pie soup.
It's really good. I liked it a lot. I'm not really a big soup person, so I haven't had chicken pot pie soup a whole lot, but
sure looks like you're a soup guy.
I ate it. I'm a waste not, want not kind of guy. You know, I was always taught from a young age that if it's on your plate, you're going to eat it. And even if you don't like it, you're going to finish it. But in this case, I didn't finish it because I had to. This was legitimately really good. In my own review, I said that it was probably the best chicken pot pie soup that I've ever had. What I didn't tell my own channel was that since I haven't had a whole lot of chicken pot pie soups, that experience isn't very wide per se, but it was good. Yeah.
Good. I know you don't do ratings out of 5, but what would you give it if you should? Come on. A 4? 3.5?
Well, considering I called it the best chicken pot pie soup I've ever had, out of rankings of all of the chicken pot pie soups, I gotta give it a 5.
Okay, we'll give it a 5. Sounds good. Ordinary Adventure Star. And that's the entree that Trevor got, which is the Impossible Meatloaf, served with roasted potatoes, garden farm vegetables, tomato glaze, and fried shallots. That actually looks pretty good. Good serving piece as well. And again, it's Impossible meat. Trevor so graciously offered to give me a bite here of the meatloaf, and I will admit I am a fiend of meatloaf, so I'm going to try both a good bite of meatloaf and the potatoes. And again, this is Impossible Meatloaf, so yeah. Usually Disney does pretty well when it comes to the meatless options here. The tomato glaze, very good. It really masks the fact that you're not eating a meatloaf, and it tastes very good. But it does, like Trevor mentioned this when he was doing his review, there is a little bit of a vegetable-y slight texture, just a hint of like, okay, I might be eating some like cabbage or something of that nature. But overall, I mean, you put this in front of people, I would say 8 times out of 10 they're going to think it's just regular meatloaf. So it was actually pretty good. I would actually order that in the future. Very good, healthy option for those who are being a little more health conscious. I'm, touching the tail end of hitting 40, so I should probably start eating more foods like this. But until then, it wasn't too bad. I would give that a 4 out of 5. So here we are. It came out. I ordered myself an iced tea, by the way. This is the blackened fish. It looks like it's salmon. It doesn't list on the menu what it is, so you may want to ask what the catch of the day is. But this looks like salmon for me. It does have a pickled vegetable salad, some house chips, and tartar sauce. Looks pretty good. Very seasoned. To the let's try a chip here. Good house-made chips, not bad at all. I want to try a little bit of this salad here for just try it all. I'm not a big fan of pickled items, and it has a little pickly taste to it, pickly vinaigrette. Not a fan, but that's okay. You gotta try the fish, that's the main part about it. Not a bad fish, not a bad fish at all. Good amount of seasoning, good flavoring, nice and moist. Definitely not tough at all, not dried out. It's pretty good, can't complain. Again, I would rather have barbecue here, but that's okay. For this, 4 out of 5. It's a pretty good size, a good sized piece of fish and a good flavored piece of fish, so not too bad. So here is the red velvet cake. I'm going to steal a bite from Trevor's cake, because this is part of the Fantasmic package, not part of the regular menu item, so I wasn't able to get it. But Trevor's graciously enough to share a couple bites with me because he knows I love red velvet, so we'll give it a try. And to be honest with you, it's a little crumbly, and I think that means it's a little bit dry. So, but the best part about a red velvet cake is always the cream cheese frosting. That's the best part. So, good, decent sized bite there. I was right. The cake itself, a little dry and crumbly, so it could be a little bit more moist. It's not stale or anything by any means, but it shouldn't be falling apart into crumbles like that. But the cream cheese frosting and the caramel sauce on top, on point with a 5. But I'm really going to give it a 4 out of 5 because of the crumbling of the cake. So we were discussing what is the actual price that you're paying for the Fantasmic dining package to get the reserved spot. So you are paying $64 and you get to choose from the menu. But let's break it down to see how much you're really paying for that particular spot and is it worth it. So a starter, so Trevor got the cup of pot pie soup. Now on the menu, the pricing is not listed for the cup version, but let's just assume that it's like $12, which is usually about how Disney kind of prices a cup compared to an actual bowl for their items. So let's just say $12. Let's assume that we got the most expensive item on the menu, which is pork chop. The pork chop is going to be $32. And let's say the dessert, again, because the red velvet was on this menu but not on the menu listed, let's just say it's the same price roughly as like the key lime tart for $12. Also, he got a beverage with it as well, and the beverage is $5.25. So assuming maximum cost price, we have $12 plus $32 for the pork chop, $12 for that cup, $12 for the dessert, and $5.25 for the beverage. Comes out to a total of $61.25. That means that the Fantasmic seating package was only $3 additional to get a reserved spot for Fantasmic out that way. That is not a bad deal. Now, Trevor, he actually ended up getting the Impossible Meatloaf, which is actually $10 cheaper than what we just listed out right now. So he ended up paying $51. So he still was $13. He potentially paid $13 for the reserved seating at Fantasmic. Still a pretty good deal for a little bit of a peace of mind, not having to worry or get there too early trying to find a good spot. All right, got done with our lunch here at the River Belle Terrace. Couple final thoughts onto it. Overall, I would say the lunch was actually pretty good. Okay, a couple hits, couple misses. Nothing was really terrible about what we had. The biggest thing for me, critique, and I mentioned this in the video, is that they're shifting the menu focus to something a little bit different. Apparently, a couple weeks ago, they changed the menu. This is
January 17th.
January 17th. This has always been a place where you can pick up some sort of barbecue, you know, something burn ends with like a sandwich, mac and cheese, potato, something always that had to be like a steak or barbecue-esque portion, which is always why it's always been one of my favorite places. But this menu is a completely different ball game at this point now, so I wasn't very happy with it. Speaking about that, which is very interesting, we did speak to management earlier during our lunch and kind of, at least I did, express my disappointment in the menu, the current offerings, right? Funny enough, they ended up actually talking to us later, asked us how our lunch was, how we did, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And they were actually, very thankful for us talking and being open about, in a respectful manner, of course, constructive. But then they actually were very vocal about that the staff is not very happy themselves with the current offerings of the menu, and they're hearing it from other guests as well too. So they were kind of in a way of asking us to be like, you know what, be vocal about it, talk to guest services, mention it to them, go to City Hall, write a note, write an email, because it sounds to me that the staff in there is not very happy with the menu, and they're hoping that us guests will vocalize it and hopefully say, hey, bring back the old menu or bring back something even better, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was very interesting. So I do appreciate those cast members. We're not going to say names or anything to keep their identity safe. We don't want them to get in trouble, but it's very interesting. So feel free to come stop here and raise your voices too if you want to bring the burn ends. But overall, good lunch, can't complain about it. He's going to stick around for the Fantasmic, and what I'm going to do is that right here, I'm going to put a video of his portion of what it looks like from where they seat him there for it, so you get an idea of what the Fantasmic package looks like and the seating that you're going to get. But
so this is the seating area for the different dining packages. It's going to be right up against the fence facing over towards Tom Sawyer Island there. We're going to be sitting in these sections right over here. I'm hopefully going to get a fence because the River Belle one is down this way, all the way down at the end. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to go all the way down here where I can get a good fence view. I don't mind that it's down this way. Everything is pretty well full around this area. I'm gonna just put the camera through the bars like that to get you a good view. But yeah, even over this way, everything's pretty well full over there too. So I didn't think the second one would be quite as full, but it is still pretty full.
Watch this, Wendy.
another little caveat I want to add here too is with the current menu, at least for myself personally, I would probably honestly not eat here again until the menu changes back to some old-time favorites or new possible potential favorites. But I would say that when we broke down the price of the Fantasmic package, again, only spending a few extra dollars to get reserved spot for Fantasmic, at that point, if you're going to eat dinner or lunch anyways, for a few bucks more, get a Fantasmic spot, then yes, totally, 100%, I would do it in a heartbeat. You know, get the fried chicken, get something else, I don't know. But for the Fantasmic aspect to it, then yes, I would say it's definitely worth it with the current menu situation. Again, when they change the menu back or hopefully to something new and it's better, then 110% for sure. Overall, I had a great time, not too bad of a lunch. So anyways, that's going to say like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.